Right now, on to the point. Missing in the Middle East.
I'm strong, but in the night when my wife don't see, I cry.
A man with ties to California missing 7 family members, disappearing from an Israeli community the day Hamas attacked. Tonight, the president's Oval Office address, what he is pledging to do. Governor Newsom, why he's now visiting Israel while on an overseas trip. And the new information tonight, increasing security at places of worship as the Israel-Hamas war grows.
Good evening. This is To the Point. I'm Alex Bell. A little over an hour ago, President Biden addressed the nation from his Oval Office after returning from Israel. He declared support for Israel and Ukraine, saying it is vital for America's national security. He made the case for deepening U.S. involvement in both foreign conflicts and will be sending an urgent funding request to Congress for $100 billion.
American alliances will keep us, America, safe. American values are what make us a partner that other nations want to work with. To put all that at risk, if we walk away from Ukraine, if we turn our backs on Israel, it's just not worth it.
The funding proposal will be released tomorrow. Right now, Governor Newsom is on his way to Israel. He is stopping in the country before heading to China for climate-focused meetings. The governor's office says California is sending medical supplies to the region, including provisions intended for the Gaza Strip. Israel's defense forces continue to pound Gaza with retaliatory airstrikes following the October 7th attack by Hamas, and a ground invasion seems imminent. A member of Israel's security cabinet tells ABC News the Israeli government has given the go-ahead for a ground assault in Gaza to root out Hamas.
Tunnel is going to be the biggest cemetery in the world.
But if the hostages are in there?
We shall do all efforts to bring our hostages back alive.
The Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 3,700 people have been killed in Gaza, with more than 3 times that number injured. The Hamas attack on Israel killed more than 1,400 people, with more than 4,500 others injured and at least 203 people held hostage. And tonight, in one of his first American TV interviews, an Israeli man with California ties is speaking with To the Point. 7 of his family members are still missing after the Hamas attack just 12 days ago. They disappeared from an Israeli community known as kibbutz. Becca Habegger spoke with him today about his struggle to get information, the fight to rescue his family, and his hope that they are still alive.
These are the missing family members of Gilad Korngold.
It's very, very tough, very hard.
Earlier in his life, Gilad lived in California, and his family still living in the region. He now lives in Israel, where his world turned upside down on the morning of October 7th. Hamas militants launched a surprise attack on Israelis, killing more than 1,400 people and capturing at least 200 others.
They burn everything. They leave hell.
Among the missing, his son and daughter-in-law, Tal and Adi Shoam. Their kids, Gilad's grandkids, 8-year-old Naveh and 3.5-year-old Yael. Pictured in these videos, the family is circulating to raise awareness about their disappearance. Throughout Israel, including along the border with Gaza, are about 270 small towns called kibbutzim, traditionally rooted in collective farming and shared resources.
Kibbutz is a community, between 100 to 1,000 people.
On October 7th, Hamas militants attacked kibbutzim near Gaza, including Kibbutz Biri. That's where Gilad's son, daughter-in-law, and grandkids, who live a few hours away in northern Israel, were visiting Adi's parents, aunt, and cousin who live there.
It's one of the biggest kibbutzim in the area, and in Israel was 1,200 people there.
Kibbutz Biri is just 3 miles from Gaza. Gilad lives in Kibbutz Gvolat, which is 8 miles from Gaza, and did not get attacked that day. His son, daughter-in-law, and grandkids were supposed to come visit him next, but they never made it. Gilad has since received word his loved ones might be among the hostages taken to Gaza.
We have notified that our family was almost for sure there in the Gaza Strip. It gives us hope.
As hostages, they could still be alive. But that hope got complicated this week. Adi's father, previously thought to be a hostage, was declared dead after his remains were identified.
It's everything mixed up again in our brains. Now we still being in dark. We don't understand what's happened.
Gilad and his son have dual Israeli-Austrian citizenship. His daughter-in-law and the grandkids have dual Israeli-German citizenship. Gilad is now hanging his hopes on international diplomacy.
Both authorities, German and Austrian, help us very much. The ambassador called me all the time. They call and ask if we need something and give us information.
At this point, he says so much is unknown, especially about the grandkids.
I don't know even if they're together with the mother. We don't know if they're blanket, if they eat good, even if they're alive. I'm strong, but I'm in the night when my wife don't see, I cry. You know, I look the pictures.
Israel's military said its latest tally shows 203 hostages have been kidnapped. Another 100 people remain unaccounted for.
And Becca joins us right now. We have been in touch with the family. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know, Alex, Gilad's family started a toy donation drive with another family who lost family members in the October 7th Hamas attack. They're trying to do something to cheer up all of the kids who are now displaced and living in shelters.
Yeah, when you see those children's faces, it's a difficult time. We'll keep our eye on this story. Becca, thank you so much. And new tonight, more California families have been evacuated out of Israel. Congressman Adam Schiff's office says they have been assisting families with charter flights and commercial airplanes. American citizens in Israel and Gaza in need of assistance are encouraged to fill out a State Department crisis intake form. And because of the turmoil and violence, the U.S. State Department has issued a worldwide travel alert. People are asked to exercise increased caution traveling overseas. They say there is a potential for terrorist attacks, demonstration, or violence against U.S. citizens. Security is also increasing right here at home. Late last night, Governor Newsom's office announced $10 million in state funding to immediately increase police presence at places of worship. And he authorized an additional $20 million investment into the state's security grant program. Nonprofit organizations, including synagogues and mosques that are at high risk for violent attacks and hate crimes, can apply for funding to improve their security. Religious institutions have until next Friday to apply for funding. In other news, newly appointed California U.S. Senator LaFonza Butler says that she will not seek a full Senate term next year. That race already includes 3 high-profile candidates, members of Congress Katie Porter, Adam Schiff, and Barbara Lee. Butler was appointed 16 days ago by Governor Newsom to fill the spot of late Senator Dianne Feinstein. In the race for the next Speaker of the House, Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan is refusing to give up after 2 failed votes. Jim Jordan telling his Republican colleagues he will seek a 3rd vote tomorrow morning. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy had this to say today.
The whole country, I think, would scream at Matt Gaetz right now. Remember, it was a crazy eights led by Matt Gaetz and every single Democrat that put us into this situation.
So remember, Matt Gaetz led the charge to remove Kevin McCarthy. Meanwhile, Democrats are putting their own speaker candidate forward. Without a House Speaker, the House cannot function. And former Pioneer Elementary School principal Boyd Holler made his first court appearance today in El Dorado County. The 37-year-old is accused of sending harmful material to a minor and contacting a minor to engage in lewd behavior. According to court documents released today, Holler made contact with 2 girls as young as 12 years old and sent them inappropriate videos and pictures from his home and his office at the elementary school. The prosecutor says he also bragged about seeing his students partially naked in his office. They say they are still investigating if this is true. Pioneer Union School District said none of the victims identified were students in the district. Still ahead on To the Point, the earthquake alert that shook Californians awake and what's being done about it.
We saw a lot of temperatures today in the 90s. Which areas saw those record temperatures?
And 'tis the season to head to Apple Hill, but what could happen to those famous apples in the face of climate change?
I know there is some concern about the warmer evenings. I guess it just depends on how many we get.
All right, let's check out your weather with meteorologist Carly Gomez. I thought I was going to wear flannel. I thought I was going to feel like fall today. It didn't. It felt like 90 degrees.
It was saying we're going back to summer for just another day or so. We did reach those record temperatures today. Just take a look at this. You are seeing downtown Sacramento at 91. 91 is the record. Sacramento executive 92 degrees with 91 being the record. Stockton beating its record as well at 93 and tying a record in Modesto at 89 degrees. Now with our weather headlines, what we're looking at ahead is just one more day of warm temperatures. That's tomorrow in the 80s, and then breezy conditions arrive on your Saturday, and that's letting in a lot of the cloud coverage. So we'll see breezy conditions Friday evening into Saturday, and then rain returning on Sunday. Looking at our wind speeds picking up for your Friday, about 15 to 20 mile per hour wind gusts coming from Fairfield all the way into the valley spots. And then finally into Saturday, a little breezy out there, about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, stronger winds in the Sierra. And then finally, as we get into Sunday, most of those showers begin arriving right around the mid-morning hours as we get into the early afternoon. Just take a look at 10:30 a.m. We start seeing it coming in here from Oroville south and then along the coastline there near San Francisco. Finally, around 6 p.m., we could see some of the stronger and heavier rain coming in around this time and really accumulating for those foothills. We also have some chances to potentially see some thunderstorm chances in the afternoon hours on Sunday. Now, moving into the work week, we'll see mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies turning sunny for the remainder of the week. Cooler temperatures, though, but when it comes to how much rain we could see, it's really only about 1/10 of an inch or less than that around the Sacramento area. Traces of rain may be expected, but at this point, computer models saying, hey, we're still not seeing it there yet, but we may see higher totals, especially if we get thunderstorm chances. Taking a look at those temperatures in the foothills, mid to upper 80s, and the 10-day forecast bringing us into the low 70s for the weekend. Again, shower chances, and then we're looking at 70s through the remainder of next week. Alex.
All right, thanks, Carly. Next, on to the point. An earthquake alert was sent in the middle of the night by mistake. Plus, a golden opportunity. Why investments in the metal are going up again. Did you get an earthquake alert on your phone this morning? Like really early in the morning? It was a mistake, and our Alicia Machado shows us why and what's being done to fix it.
An early wake-up call Thursday morning for some West Coast residents with the earthquake early warning app MyShake on their phones. The app was supposed to send a test alert at 10:19 a.m., but instead the alert went out at 3:19 a.m.
We learned from our colleagues at the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services and UC Berkeley that the time zone setting was not correct on the alert delivery. So they were actually delivering to 10:19 a.m. UTC.
7 hours ahead of Pacific time. The test alert then went out again at 10:19 a.m. as originally planned. The alert is part of Shakeout Day, an annual earthquake drill to make sure people are prepared for an active situation. Wednesday's shake near Isleton, a reminder that we live in earthquake country here in California. Emergency alerts notifying folks near the epicenter and surrounding areas to take cover.
The most important thing we prioritize is public safety.
The MyShake app initially reported the earthquake as a magnitude 5.7. It was later downgraded to a 4.2. We spoke with Shake Alert Operations team lead Robert DeGroot about the accuracy.
In doing earthquake early warning, we have to balance accuracy and the speed. The first measurements that came from the earthquake, it appeared to be much bigger, but we needed to get those alerts moving as quickly as possible because we knew something was going on.
DeGroot says the system is automated, utilizing sensors in the field to pick up ground vibrations. He says they're working on improvements.
Every earthquake teaches us something new. So we learned from this earthquake, and we also learned from what happened this morning at 3:19 a.m. Fixes are underway. We're working with our partners to make sure that things go much, much better next time.
The Geological Survey says that they are working to put up more stations to monitor earthquakes. They are planning to have more than 1,000 up by the end of 2025. All right, in your price points, Fairfield's family-owned company Jelly Belly is being sold. The maker of more than 100 flavors of jelly beans will soon be owned by Ferrera Candy Company in Chicago. Fairfield's mayor tells us Jelly Belly employees will not lose their jobs. Tesla, the biggest name in electric vehicles, is joining other car makers' dimmer view on demand for EVs. Elon Musk says his company Tesla is holding off on a planned factory in Mexico. Ford and GM have already announced production slowdowns. And investing in gold is gaining popularity again. With worries about what is happening in the Middle East, people are turning to more traditional safety net investments like gold. Gold prices hit their highest levels in more than 2 years. And it's that time of the year. Families are heading to Apple Hill for apple picking, of course, donuts, cider, and a whole lot more. But what does the future of Apple Hill look like as it faces climate change? Meteorologist Brendan Minchef has the story tonight.
Just up the road from Placerville,
I made myself a donut this morning,
you'll find Tom Heflin.
and it was really good.
More affectionately known as Farmer Tom, he and his wife own Rainbow Orchards in Apple Hill.
We've had this farm since 1977, but I was raised in the area, so I could say I've been here longer than Apple Hill.
So as you might expect, he knows a thing or two about apples. All kinds of apples.
Galas, Honeycrisp, Braeburns, Cameos, Fuji's, Granny Smith, Arkansas Black.
And in all that time, this year stands out in Farmer Tom's mind.
I can't think of a better summer growing season in all the years we've been here. It's absolutely perfect from bloom to harvest. Everywhere in Apple Hill, they're going to have nice apples this year.
That perfect season really started over the winter with the abundant mid-elevation snow the region saw.
You had a lot of rain. We had a lot of snow. Which is good, because the apples need chill time. Because of the late snow, they didn't bloom early, which is also very good. Last year, it was a warm winter, they bloomed, and it froze. This year, bloom, no freeze, perfect weather.
As the seasons continue to change and fall settles into Northern California,
it helps not to be in the 90s because people aren't thinking fall. And they don't think about Apple Hill until they think fall.
more and more people will make the trek up to Apple Hill.
Every weekend gets busier and busier until we get to Halloween.
But climate change threatens what is a pilgrimage of sorts for many Northern Californians. Warmer nights and warmer days, along with more wet to dry and heat to freeze whiplash, could jeopardize everything from the apple's color and taste to the apple's ability to grow at all.
If the nights are too warm, we won't get the chill hours. The blossoms won't form properly while the tree is dormant. If it warms up too quick after the winter, the trees come out too soon, the blooms too soon, and then you got the frost problem. I know there is some concern about the warmer evenings. I guess it just depends on how many we get.
Apples need 800 hours of chill during the winter. That's about 30 days, with temperatures between 34 to 50 degrees. The average winter low temperature in Placerville nowadays is 35 degrees. That's up about 5 degrees over the last 50 years and represents a significant baseline shift during that time.
A couple of nights is okay, but if it was all winter, boy, who knows?
Warmer temps and an earlier start to the growing season also means more opportunities for bugs and diseases to take hold. It can also mean more water is needed to keep the trees healthy.
We're really lucky up here in El Dorado County because the El Dorado County Irrigation District has a program where there are probes in the orchard, and they read the probes, and we only irrigate when we need to. We're very tight with our water up here because we really realize how important water is.
Climate change presents challenges to all aspects of life as we know it.
I can't say that the weather has affected us that much.
And the apples and the way of life on Apple Hill are no exception.
In the long term, the weather will affect us.
But that doesn't discourage Farmer Tom and his wife. They'll still be up here growing apples, making cider, and frying donuts, all while adapting to a new, more variable climate.
But start with the donuts. That's a good way to start the day.
If you haven't had their donuts, you are missing out. And if you do head to Apple Hill this fall, El Dorado County's tourism group recommends visiting the farms earlier in the day if you are going on a weekend. And they say the heavy traffic starts after 10 a.m. and most ranches open starting at 8 a.m. Coming up tomorrow on To The Point, it's leaf peeping season. We're hitting the back roads of California where you can find some very spectacular views. Don't miss this story tomorrow at 6:30. And after the break, recent music festivals in Sacramento bringing worldwide fans together. The numbers are in. The last two music festivals in Sacramento, Aftershock and the Golden Sky Country Music Festival, brought 220,000 people to the city. The festivals were held on back-to-back weekends at Discovery Park this month. Festival organizers say fans from all 50 states, 40 countries, and every continent besides Antarctica were here. They estimate the economic impact for the city was about $40 million. Thank you so much for joining us. We are always working to bring you more context and information. So if there's something you care about or you want more information on, reach out to me and the team. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.